today's video, I am going to be making a custom tee, and I kind of wanted to take you guys on the little journey of how I do them. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is open up the Cricut app. So now we have opened it. I am going to create a new project because I don't have this one. I haven't done this one yet. So now what we're gonna do, once you've opened it, if you look over here, there's different tabs that you can use. If I was gonna make a custom one, like out of scratch, then I would press text, but I already have the design, so I'm gonna be uploading it. And now I have to look for it. This design is actually gonna be in Spanish. Perfect. So I pulled it up. So what you want to do now, once you have uploaded it, you always want to press complex. It'll definitely bring out all of those colors, which we don't really have colors, but you still want to put complex. So now we're going to press continue. Oh, and the reason for this right here is if there was anything that you didn't like, that you wanted to remove, this would be the time. Sometimes when it comes to designs, I don't know why, but sometimes they have like little extra stuff, and if you don't like that, you can just, erase it, and this is where, this whole part comes into play. So I like everything. I'm not gonna delete anything. So we're gonna press continue, and you always want to save it as a cut image. You just want to save it like that. So I usually never touch this. Now we're gonna go to save. So now we're gonna press what we had just done. We're gonna go to insert images. And I don't know why, but for some reason it's always this huge. So you obviously have to go, you obviously have to put it at the right length that you're gonna want it. So I think this is what I'm gonna want, because it is, the design's already made. It's so much easier when the design's already made, because you don't have to really tweak anything. Now it's just, unless you don't like the design and you want to tweak the design, then go for it. But like this design, I love it how it is, so I'm not gonna do anything to it. So this is where I pretty much just mess with the measurements. And the way you can figure out how big you want it is by measuring your shirt. Crazy angles, but I'm actually gonna try. Let me see. So that one was up to the 10th. So let me see. So it'll be like, technically it would end up looking like this, which I think is so much better. So you always want to place it 4 fingers down from the collar. I mean, that's pretty much what I do. You don't have to do it like that, but that's how I do it. So if I do it like that, it's gonna be this big, which I honestly think it'll be a good size. So I think I'm gonna leave it like that. So now I am going to go to make it. Now this is how it's gonna look. You always want to mirror it so that it can be like backwards, and I will tell you guys why once I make the shirt. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come over here, and I am going to open this up, and I'm gonna turn it on. I don't know why it always does that. So I like to cut it beforehand. So this is where your mat has the measurement, so I always use that. So we're gonna do, I always try to cut just a little bit. It's better to be safe than to be sorry. It is something I have learned when it comes to making these projects. So now we're gonna go to like about there. So when it comes to these type of heat transfer vinyls, I don't even know if I'm saying it right, but when it comes to these, I'm gonna show you right now, but your computer's gonna tell you that you have to put the shiny side down. So as you guys can see, this one's more dull. This is the shiny part. We're gonna put it down like this. Now I always have this protector on it. It came with it actually, and I always use it. I don't know if that's a good thing that I'm doing or if it's a bad thing that I'm doing, but I'm always doing that. So now we're going to place it. This is a part that always gets to me because I always feel like I'm doing it wrong. Today was actually easy. Okay. So now I'm going to insert it in here. I'm gonna try to do this with one hand. So gotta insert it. You have to try to make sure that you go all the way in, as much in, because I learned the hard way one time. One time it started cutting my mats because I didn't do it right. So yeah, you have to try to go all the way in. So now what you're gonna do is you're gonna go back to your computer. You are going to press continue, and then it's gonna look for it. Once it finds it, all of this is gonna pop up. Because I just use my Cricut to make shirts and it's always heat transfer ones, I always leave it iron on. I don't even move it. I don't even switch it. But if you're gonna be doing it for something else, you do have to make sure that you move that. So like I mentioned, it tells you right here the mirror has to be turned on, and if you don't know or if you don't remember if you did it, well, you can kind of see it right here that it's backwards, but it also tells you right here mirror on. And then it tells you that the iron-on material, the face, it has to be shiny side down. So you always have to try to, trust me, the very first time, and you know what, I think I'm gonna do a story time about the very first time because that was wild. But anyway, so it tells you right here what you have to load. So it already comes with this, so I don't have to do anything. I already loaded my mat, so now I just have to press this button. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna come over here, and like I said, I already pushed it all the way in. So we're gonna load the mat, and this is a part that always scares me. So we're gonna pray that everything was done right. And it should start. Okay, yeah. So normally when that happens is because everything's gonna go a little great. So okay, so it has finished. So now we are going to press this button. We're gonna take this out. Okay, so I am finally done. I'm gonna be removing now all of those little like inside parts. Oh, another thing too is normally when I'm about to do this, I turn on my heat press so that once my heat press, or I finish this, my heat press is also ready and I'm not wasting time. So this is how it'll end up looking at the end. So I always try to make sure that I'm not forgetting anything because that can happen. So make sure that it makes sense. I can read it. I'm going to put this . This also comes into play. looks good. Now we are going to heat press it for 15 to 20 seconds. And usually I stop at the 20. All right, now we are going to remove. Looks good. So now what I like to do is do it again without this for like 2-3 seconds. So 1, 2, 3. And now we can remove it. And voila.